It's the anti-checker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulty.
What is going on, YouTube? Michael J. Crawford, the anti-checker here, and despite all appearances, no, it is not the middle of the night here in the anti-checker layer. The webcam is really sucking. However, thanks to some of you guys being very generous, I have ordered a replacement webcam that will hopefully be here soon. In the meantime, I actually wanted to show off something real quick, which, well, it's not overly exciting, but I think it's cool. And that is for, now Bird of Prey, of course, is here, and for any of you that have ever watched Bird of Prey's streams, you know that about, half of Bird of Prey's life is dedicated to a game called City Skylines, which is basically SimCity on crack. And I forgot. Let me do something real quick first, because Thomas, thank you. You put the $1.99 in as usual and said okay. I assume you're referring to the title of the live stream or something. But let me get that up there for you, and then we'll talk.
Anal na trach, was betad, doch hiel dienle.
Ariel Natris Oris Bazi Bedhead Duchel Dementa. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And thank you, Bird of Prey, for improving the great movie Excalibur once again. This is my world says, hello, I'm Korean. Very cool. I assume you mean, are you in Korea right now? In which case, very cool. We'll add that to the list of countries represented here, because I believe right now we have the United States and at least 2 or 3 countries in Europe covered. But welcome to the stream. I do appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the volume. And Peter says the volume's a little bit lower. I tried turning it up just now. Tell me if it sounds any better right now. I think Lore spray printed black over the lens. That might be it. I mean, that's like, I don't know. This webcam is just slowly dying, I think. That's all it is. So, what I was going to show off real quick. Oh, and Miss Ron says, speaking of countries represented here, my island needs an official flag. Well, that's up to you to design your official flag then, Mr. Miles. And that's actually, I'm getting to your, just relax for a minute here. Let me do this here. All right, so the City Skyline. If City Skylines is Sin City on crack, the anti-checker, does that make you a junkie? No, it makes Bird of Prey a drug dealer. That's really what it is. Because Bird of Prey is the person that loves City Skylines like no other. And Peter's like, oh, check Discord, because you guys love making me go to Discord when I am streaming, because I see we have let's see, we have a new song, it looks like. Let's see here. I'm almost afraid.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Even your shoes I can tie better than you.
Oh, that's got it. We got to do something with that one. That's some good classic stuff right there. Thank you, Peter. Can you move my city for a reason? I will PM you. Well, if the city's already built, I don't know. But Bird of Prey loves to build cities and then destroy them with various disasters. But now you change your name on here to Zoom, and it's confusing me. So you're supposed to be Darth Revan, not Zoom. Why did you change yourself to Zoom? That doesn't even make sense. Zoom is like an old children's show. Anyway, so let's bring up the alternate view screen here. And so you can see Nerd Island is officially published on Steam. So yes, you can download Nerd Island right now if you have City Skylines. And the link to go directly to Nerd Island on Steam is in the description of this very video. Zoom is the speedster in DC, and check Discord. Well, I know Zoom is there's Professor Zoom, but you're a Sith Lord, not a Anyway, so let's move on. This is my world says I've subscribed to the channel. Well, thank you very much, my friend. If you enjoy what you see, that's my goal, is total world domination. So now that we have a representative in Korea, we can begin our expansion into Asia. We've got a good solid foothold on Europe, particularly Ireland. We've taken over half of that island. And in no small part thanks to Darth Revan. He's our lead man there in Ireland. Can you make an island shaped like a pen, name it Pen Island? I guess you could. Zoom sounds like an adult toy. This makes my dog jokes very awkward. Yeah, that's your dog jokes. Yeah, we need. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a joke. There's a pun there. Pen Island. Pen is land. Pen. Well, I don't get it. Well, I get it. Penis land. I can. Yeah, that's whatever. So, boy, nobody's excited about the fact that you can download this map. Everybody just wants to make a penis joke at it. Tell you, I quit. A bunch of losers around here. All right, so let me we'll close this. And so yeah, I published that just for fun. I have not actually played the island chain yet, but let's see. I'm going to bring it up. I don't know. I don't even know how good it looks in game, because I've only played with it in the map editor. What's that next to the Klingon with the writing underneath? Well, I'll show you. We'll do a little tour here in just a moment here, and Bird of Prey, because everything, there's only one small section of the map that is not directly related to a sci-fi franchise. There's also the DC villain Zoom in the Hyper Clan. I don't read much DC. I'm more of a Marvel guy. I know about Professor Zoom. He's just basically a different version of Reverse Flash, because what's more exciting than just have a bunch of people running so fast that you can't see them. All right, so here we go. This is we'll start. Well, I guess we can have the there we go. We can have the world moving there. So here, of course, we have my avatar. That's where everything starts. That's so. And I know Reverse Flash and Professor Zoom are not the same guy, but basically it's just how many bad versions of Flash are you going to make? They're just really, and I really, and this is a problem I have with the DC thing, is that DC wants to make everything OP. So it can't just be that Flash is super fast. No, we got to put in the Speed Force. It's this fundamental universal thing, and he can break the time barrier and, you know, whatever. Is there an inverse Flash along with reverse? I don't know of an inverse Flash. All right, so we have a whole bunch of, this is quite the island change. So we start out, we have Anti-Trekker Island here, of course, right next to the Greatest American Hero. Little enough room for a small city there. Yes, the good old Imperial symbol right there. That's we have the Avengers logo. All right, so over here we have the Klingon logo. This, and then next is the one that Bird of Prey did not recognize. I'll see if one of you guys can get it. It's. I know it's not as clear as some of the other ones. It's a tough one to do, but let's see if you guys figure it out here. Yeah, Robot Chicken's negative Wonder Woman. Yes, and so that's. I do remember that where the outfits are the opposite. Yes. And Donald nails it. Yes, that is the Rosinante logo from The Expanse. And yeah, Bird of Prey. So in The Expanse, they actually painted a pinup girl on the side of their spaceship when they renamed it the Rosinante. So that is, that's that logo. It's kind of hard to, you know, obviously there's only so much detail you can put into a mountain range, right? But you could kind of make out, you can see the girl there and the Rosinante. Here we have the Galactica logo, the flag of the Visitors from V, obviously Delta Shield from Star Trek, the Union officer logo, Superman, Autobots, the Terran Empire, Batman, and Mr. Miles's... Oh, what's that? A toilet! Right next to Mr. Miles's wrench for some reason. So there you go. The official map. You like the Galactica logo? Yeah, some of these, I mean, the problem with a map like this, and of course now the lighting is going to go because it's becoming nighttime. So let's go to options. And where is the day-night cycle in options? I can remember. Use day-night cycle. Turn that off. There. You know, some of these items like the Battlestar Galactica logo, I love the logo, but it's really hard to get enough detail to where you can make it out. So that was the tough part. We have seen the wrench. We can now destroy it. Yes, so the wrench... And by the way, I know, you know, I was very nice to Mr. Miles here because, you know, not only is there a wrench, but if you notice, integrated into the wrench is the Earth chevron from Stargate, because Mr. Miles is a huge Stargate fan. And no, I didn't get a TARDIS in there, but I was just running out of room, and TARDIS, to do the TARDIS right would have to require like half the map. And so, and Lore Reloaded, of course, is already on the map because, well, that's why we have a toilet. So, yes. And that is a very big wrench, because if you look at these little dots on the wrench are trees. So, and Thomas, I saw you downloaded the map. Thank you so much. Wants to see number 12. We'll get that going. And so, yes, so the link is in the description below. You can absolutely download it. Dr. Alex, of course, has no problem with using half the map for the TARDIS. There's no bias there whatsoever, is there?
Heart attack!
Well, that was easier than I expected. This is going to be a great day. And now, off to my first day of work on Endor.
And Darth Kilhoun is in the house. Yes, I showed off a little bit of the map on Saturday. I showed it to both Bird of Prey and you when you guys were both streaming, just to kind of show it off. But now that it is downloadable, anybody can do anything they want with it. But yeah, and so you could see that at first it's just like, oh, that's a wrench. You zoom and you realize those are trees, right? This is a pretty big wrench, and you know, so we have the freeway coming in right here to the wrench. Another freeway coming in over here. We have 4 freeways coming in. which is pretty typical on a map. You can see there's a boat. I do have boats coming in on the map, so you can do. Oh, I guess it helps if I actually show it. So you see there's a ship going through. So yes, I did put that there are shipping lanes that you can put in. There are airplanes flying overhead, and I think there's like there's a train that comes in somewhere, but I'm not sure where. Maybe I didn't do the train. I thought I did, but maybe not. I guess not. Oh no, there's a train. So helps if I can. Man, I suck at this. All right. So here's the train, but the train is unfinished, so it's up to anybody that wants to build a train system on the map. It hits the wrench there. Where is everyone's favorite YouTube Harpy, Mecca, and Nerdrotic Islands? Well, I don't have... These are not each for specific YouTube users. These are just different nerd franchises. The only specific YouTube user we have is Lore Reloaded. And me, I guess. I knew Marlena would appreciate the Terran Empire symbol there. Now, this one is not a particularly big island on the islands, but it's enough to put a nice little piece of property. You could have some overlord living here for sure. So you should have put a mini turd in Lore's toilet. Oh yeah. And me, I'm a YouTube. Well, yes, Mr. Miles, you're a YouTube user, but Stargate is not specific to you. It's just that Stargate happens to be sitting on a wrench. Purely coincidence. Okay, yes, so your wrench is there. And I mean, and granted, some of these were requests. Like obviously, Bird of Prey specifically wanted the Klingon symbol because of his name being Bird of Prey. But it's still the Klingon symbol. What about anime stuff? Dragon Ball, Full Metal Alchemist, Pokemon. I may do that in a future map. I actually had a lot of fun putting this together. If some of you guys like playing on the map, I'll probably build other maps in the future. Because I enjoyed doing it, just kind of goofing around. And it was a nice diversion. A Stargate Island would have worked pretty well. You know, I actually thought about that, Mr. Miles, and that's something I may do if people enjoy the maps. And there's a cruise ship and a cargo ship going by. If people start to enjoy the maps, I may do like single theme maps. Like I thought about it would take a lot of work, but you put a very detailed Stargate ring going around the entirety of the map. And then, of course, you fill it with water, and that would be your event horizon. That would be actually really cool. Andy, your patrons get to live on your face. That's very true. And, you know, the nice thing is that if you ever get mad at me, then you can just, wrong one. You can go over here and drop a meteor on my face if you want to. So if you're really pissed off at me, you can just, you know, punch me right between the eyes with a meteor. I don't know how much damage that'll do. We'll find out in just a second. So that's a flat Earth map would be easy. Hey, Edchecker, do you build the islands gradient JPEG? It's a PNG file is what I use to actually build most of the things on the map. And yes, it uses a grayscale. So black is the lowest elevation, white is the highest elevation. And so you can basically, if you're good with Photoshop or any other picture editing program, and you can get a file that's the right size, you can build your map. Zach, would love to live on the Starfleet or the BSG logo. Yeah, so, I thought I put a meteor. I actually dropped a tornado on my face. That's not going to do anything, so let's get that meteor going. So... Terrence says, I'd expect the maps in this game to be flat. Yeah, this is true. Bird of Prey is trying to insinuate that I'm a racist or something because I said that white is the highest level in the height map. I did not design the height map, Bird of Prey. I'm simply reporting on the functionality of said height map. So that has nothing to do with my personal preferences. So take that. Oh, and there go. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's got to leave a mark.
Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
So yeah, that's pretty serious. Yeah, Thomas. Yes, Bird of Prey, the one guy who repeatedly on his streams likes to point out that he will not accept gay stuff. So yeah, hey, here's an interesting. Let's see how good of a flood we can get on the Imperial Island. Need some tape for the. Yeah, definitely. The glasses are shattered. That's definitely not good. Tornado, well, you know, it killed a lot of plant life, but didn't really do anything. I don't see too many of the animals. I put animal spawn points on the map, but I don't see any animals wandering around. Put a shipping lane, the tsunami. Now that anti-tracker put a shipping lane, the tsunami should work. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
A meteor strike has occurred.
So let's take. Yeah. So that didn't do a whole lot of damage. But that's probably just because this isn't the ocean. It just kind of smoothed it out a little bit. Now, of course, if we drop them, here we go. Let's drop a load here in the toilet. That's what we need to do. So, what happened to my face? Yes. Well, you know, that's what I get. So yeah, we're gonna drop a massive deuce here into the toilet and see what happens. And then we'll start over, because and so a flaming rock from the sky is falling to the map area. Bam, and there it goes. Ooh, and there's another one. Bam, bam.
A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available. Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will.
So yeah, the meteors.
Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is
definitely if somebody was living on Wrench Island there, it would definitely be a problem there. You can see a good chunk of the island was taken out here by flooding. Hey, Antracker, can the island populations repair tornado damage? Well, that's a good question for Bird of Prey. I believe they can, but they can't, like, you can't fix damage. Well, theoretically, obviously you can if you have certain cheats on in the game. But, like, you couldn't fix the damage, like, to the land. Like, you can see, when that person dropped that deuce, it completely obliterated the toilet here. And that can't really be fixed realistically. Yes, you can actually do it with editors in the game, but, you know, it's not the same thing. The toilet definitely looks dirty there. So I do like them meteors. They're a lot of fun. I did some damage to the railway stations. All right, so let's reset this. Let's see. We'll quit to main menu. But no, and I admit I suck at City Skylines. I truly do. But I think it's a fun game. I wish that I had the massive skills of someone like Bird of Prey. If you haven't seen him play City Skylines, it's crazy how I mean, because he just knows how everything works. That's my biggest problem. It's like I'll be like, I want to make something happen, and it never works right. The wrench is not made from steel alloy. That much is absolutely, I think, demonstrably true at this point. The wrench is made out of something less than a steel alloy. Bird of Prey is the Picasso of Skylines. I don't know if I would say Picasso. I think I would go Rembrandt. Picasso. I don't think Bird is the abstract kind of guy. And let's see here. So, I know this is like a light stream, so to speak. You know, I'm not talking about anything heavy or anything. But man, the last couple of days have been rough as far as I'm torn on a lot of the stuff I'm seeing from a lot of YouTubers that I actually respect and care about, as far as their vitriol towards the Captain Marvel movie. I understand why a lot of people don't like Brie Larson. I'm with them 100% on that. However, I think that some of the negativity directed at Captain Marvel is undue. We need more cowbell. Well, I don't know that there's a... I have a cowbell mod there. I have the cheats for Sim City, Andy Trekker. Are there cheats for City Skylines? Oh, there's a ton. Sim City has got nothing compared to what you can do with City Skylines. City Skylines, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of mods you can download directly from Steam. What did Brie Larson actually say? Well, Brie Larson basically was talking about her form. The big thing that set people off was when she was accepting an award, and she was talking about the movie Wrinkle in Time, which she was in. And she basically threw out the statement that she does not care what a 40-year-old white man has to say about A Wrinkle of Time. And her reference was to the fact that Wrinkle of Time got negative reviews. And her point to that was that Wrinkle of Time was not a movie for them. It was a movie for girls of color. Her words, not mine. Now, I did not see Wrinkle of Time. I didn't care to see Wrinkle of Time. And I would agree that it's not a movie made for someone like me. That's fine. But the thing is that to diss the professional critics like that, just not based on, if she thinks that their critique was wrong or they missed a point, rather than to basically attack them based on race and gender, pissed off a lot of people, rightly so. And so Brie, I have very, very, very little respect for Brie herself. And by the way, all those people that were excited that, and this is, saying, oh, Captain Marvel's going to flop. Captain Marvel's going to bomb. Wrong answer. Captain Marvel had a great opening weekend. 153 million domestic, 455 million worldwide. Now, I don't know what the actual budget for Captain Marvel was, but I would dare say that it's probably less than $200 million. Typically, Marvel puts about between 100 to 150 million into their origin films. And by the way, Darren, the reason the domestic total is rounded off is because these are not finalized numbers. Notice it says estimate there. That's a pretty strong, and I follow Box Office Mojo. They're a pretty reliable website. Their estimate will fluctuate by probably no more than a couple of million one way or the other when they get the final numbers. And at that point, it'll say like 152, 831, 529, or it might say 155, 633, whatever. But it's gonna. But this is where the basic. This is the confirmed range that we're looking at. So, Captain Marvel's budget was 152 million, according. Well, I don't know where you got that. I know Box Office Mojo, when they put the production budget, it's usually an official number. But we'll assume you're correct there, Mr. Miles. If that is correct, and that would be right in line with where I estimated it should be. Typically, 150 is the higher end of the cap for an intro movie for Marvel, but inflation, that price is going to go up. So 152 is not unreasonable. So if that is the case, if the budget for Captain Marvel was 152 million, it is already in the black, which because typically for a movie to turn a profit, it needs to make double, and in ticket sales, it needs to make double its production budget in order to accommodate for marketing budget and theater take. All right, so at this point, so for a movie like this, if it had a $152 million budget, then it would need to make a little over 300 million to break even, and we're at 455. So, so first of all, there is no way in hell that anyone can argue that Captain Marvel is a bomb. Okay, that's an absolute fact. Now, week 2 will be interesting, right, to see what happens. And Darren's actually pointing out more interesting seeing the second week numbers. I think that is going to be very interesting to see what happens with week 2. And that, because here's the thing. As far as the people out there that have been very vocally against Captain Marvel, and I'm not talking about people that have just seen the movie and didn't like it. I'm talking about people that have been speaking actively against this movie for months, right? And there are a lot of them out there, right? And so, and Admiral, I don't think we're going to see a 65% drop. I think that, because here's the thing, and people tend to exaggerate what will happen based on whatever their personal feelings are on it. A 65% drop, I think, would be unrealistic. I think that even if the film, if the film drops less than 50%, it's a runaway success. If it drops more than 50%, then it's a moderate. If it drops more than 60%, then yeah, that's a problem. All right, that would be a real. I'll be honest with you. I think Marvel would take note if it drops more than 60%, but I don't think we're going to see that big of a drop. But here's the thing. So this movie is already a success, right? This movie already warrants a sequel. This movie already proves that Captain Marvel's a viable character. However, that being said, I don't think that unlike Lucasfilm, I don't think that Marvel Studios is deaf to the outrage over Brie Larson. I really don't. So I think I think that may affect a change. Now, keep in mind, Marvel is not above recasting if they need to. They've done it before, and look at War Machine, and they've recast a few smaller parts in the MCU. Hulk as well. Edward Norton. Edward Norton didn't play nice with others, and guess what? He got the boot. And I respect that of Marvel. I absolutely do. I think Edward Norton is a fine actor, but if you're going to try, an actor should not be running the production, period. And if Edward Norton was too much of a prima donna to work nicely with directors and producers and stuff and make the movie they want to make, then, they need to get kicked out. So, And Admiral, Robert Downey Jr. in an interview we listened to. I think Marvel does a lot more than most production companies. But I don't think that calling Captain Marvel this horrifically bad SJW propaganda piece is an exaggeration. Is it a feminist movie? Absolutely. And nobody's denying that. Heck, the producers flat out said it. We know it's a feminist movie. But here's the problem, and this is where I think us, okay, the nerds, especially people that have been upset about the destruction of our beloved franchises, where we have to be very, very careful. Feminist is not a 4-letter word, all right? However, and this is a common thing. It's like masculinity is not a bad word. Femininity is not a bad word. But people will then push something and like, so toxic masculinity, third wave feminism, what was it? The Rush Limbaugh coined the phrase way back in the 90s, feminazis, right? There are extremists in the feminist movement. I agree with you, by the way. I think that the Fury losing his eye was a really bad situation. And Brian, I'll get to Endgame in just a minute. I do have a couple of theories on what might go down there. So, but femininity or feminism, the core concept of feminism is simply that women should be given all the same rights and opportunities afforded to men. In that regard, I totally agree. I do not believe that we should that women should be held back. And by the way, Laughable Larry throws a $1.99 into no comment, but thank you, Laughable. I do truly appreciate that. And Joseph throws in a couple of euros. Thank you, Joseph, and says it was a female-led movie, not SJW feminist one. Yes. Tiki says feminism is yucky. And DJ says, I thought it was stated in Winter Soldier the Fury lost his eye while trying to save the life of the one that betrayed him to Hydra. No, he only said, the last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. That's all we got before. And then the way we lose the eye in this movie is like, what? That line no longer makes any sense. Just like, unfortunately, and 'cause there are a couple of retcon problems with Captain Marvel. And if and when I do a full review of Captain Marvel, I will definitely get into them. But another one, for example, is that in the Avengers, it was Fury said that that Howard Stark found the Tesseract when they were looking for Captain America in the bottom of the ocean, which makes sense because we know that the Tesseract would have ended up at the bottom of the ocean from what we saw in Captain America, the First Avenger. However, as it turns out, nope. Like, that's not how they got the Tesseract. And the funny thing is, the way they got the Tesseract and the way that Nick Fury lost his eye are through the same source. So that's kind of funny. But yes, 3 red turds for Fury's eye, 3 red turds for the Tesseract. I'm not going to even tell you how many red turds that are going to be earned from Vocal Fry. Ugh. But here's the thing. So, feminism, the idea that women should be equal to men, the idea that women should not be held back just because they're women, I'm all for. I am 100% for. I think that women absolutely should be given the same opportunities as men. Now, that being said, I am against, and I've always been against things like altering the standards based on gender or race. So, there's a scene in this movie, while factually inaccurate, I kind of liked, because, for those of you that have seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler or anything. There is a flashback. There's actually a lot of flashbacks in this film, but there's a flashback of Carol Danvers when she was training in the Air Force program. She wanted to become a pilot. Mr. Miles shows a buck in. Thank you so much. Man, you guys are being nice today, and I truly appreciate it. But for Laughable Larry, Joseph, and Mr. Miles, of course, if you want a Super Chat reward, please tell me, because, you know, I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring you. Anti-Checker, what's the line in the sand to accept retcons or to make a fight of it? If a retcon is necessary or a retcon truly improves the story, it's not worth fighting over. I don't like the idea, but I can understand it, right? When retcons are done unnecessarily or they detract from the overall story, then I will fight tooth and nail. And so the Tesseract one and the eyeball one, neither of them are major issues to the MCU, but I think it denigrates the MCU. I think that it is a bad retcon. So if Fury lost his eye in some incredible heroic way and it was beyond awesome, I wouldn't be bitching about the fact that it's a retcon. But the fact that he loses it in a stupid way, and it was and the thing is that there are 2 scenes in which Fury gets injured in the eye. If the first one, if when he gets injured in the eye the first time in the movie, and that injury just slowly gets worse because he can't seek medical treatment, by the end of the movie he loses his eye, I would have been fine with that. But anyway, that's because that would have been as a result of his trust for Coulson. But that's not what they did. All right, so do we, let me see here. I know Mr. Miles says, read my comment when you're super chatting, but okay. And Joseph says, wants number 1. You got it, my friend. Now that I'm finally getting the requests in there.
I'm a better female character than you.
You would be if you didn't spend all your time with that temper tantrum mean guy.
At least I'm not the one on a show with a questionable acronym.
Take it back.
No.
Yes.
Oops. Sorry to bother you.
And yes, Mr. Miles, I did read your comment while the video was playing. Yes, I agree with you, and is that a lot of us in the nerd community are fighting hard, not because of a real slight or a real propaganda thing, but that we're afraid it's going there. And I can understand that that fear. And yeah, Darren, I think we got to do something with Captain Marvel and the Captain Marvel. We got to do something with that. I know. But are the retcons in Discovery worse than Marvel? Yes, absolutely. The retcons in Discovery have been horrifically bad. Now, with this last episode of Discovery, the first episode of Discovery that I actually enjoyed, a season and a half into it, they do set up the possibility of a fix in the multiple timelines and stuff, which I would be down for, but I still want them to get back to the Prime Universe. So, third-wave feminists turn feminism into man-hate. Real feminists hate this movement. You're right, Marlena, and that's the thing. Like, for example, Mrs. Anti-Trekker absolutely would go to the mat saying, you know, minority rights, women's rights, that kind of thing. However, she can't stand the far left SJW propaganda crap, right? Now she is, and this is one thing that I appreciate about my wife, Mrs. Anti-Trekker, because she keeps me grounded. There are times when I'm watching something and I'm getting pissed off about it, and then she's like, "No, you're taking it too far, man. That you're reading too deep into that." And I have to stop and think about it and say, "Yeah, you know, that's the case." And in fact, I owe Mr. Miles. I'm going to make a public apology to Mr. Miles right here, right now, even though it's coming up in a video that I'm hoping to get out this week. The SG1. So when in my first part of the SG1 review, I start calling out Sam as one of these feminists, right? Because she has the line about my reproductive organs are on the inside, not the outside. She's always trying to prove herself. However, it's the same kind of thing. The problem is that they kind of leaned in that direction, but then they backed off, right? So it didn't really cross the line, but they got near it. And I took it too far as my interpretation of it, because especially once you see more of the series, you realize they completely back off of that. And Sam is just a equal opportunity type person, not a men bad kind of thing. And they never denigrate, like the other characters on Stargate weren't suddenly bumbling idiots just because Sam Carter was in the room, right? So that's a totally different thing than the kind of thing we see with Rey, where in Star Wars, all of a sudden Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Finn, Poe, every man is incompetent and evil because women are good, right? That's the problem when we get with this third-wave feminism crap. I bet if Brie Larson wrote and directed Captain Marvel, you know, then Nick Fury would probably have been some kind of horrible misogynist and set straight by Captain Marvel. But we have to be careful as far as not labeling, and I do this all the time, and I'm really fighting it. And by the way, Amanda Tapping, it's too bad that I think Amanda Tapping was born about 20 years too early, because if Amanda Tapping was 20 years younger, she would make a great Carol Danvers. You know, if she was the age now that she was when Stargate first came out, Amanda Tapping would have made a great Carol Danvers. Much better than Brie Larson. For one thing, Amanda Tapping knows how to show emotion, and she can kick butt without coming across as ridiculously fake. Laughable Larry throws another $1.99 into the chat. Thank you, Laughable. You're not putting any comments in there, which is very kind of you, but don't make me feel guilty, man. Tell me what's on your mind. Zoom says, we as geeks have to be careful or else we ourselves will turn as bad as the SJWs. That's exactly right. And you know, my non-spoiler review, which is really something just going to be an amalgamation of clips from some of my live streams recently. You know, you guys, if you were there when on Thursday night when I first reviewed it, I got a little worked up over the fact that that people are attacking this movie as if this movie was Brie Larson. Brie Larson is a crazed left-wing SJW nutbag, right? But the movie is not. The movie is definitely pro-woman. The movie is definitely a feminist piece, but it is not an SJW men bad kind of thing. Even though there are people that, you know, like for example, and going to pick on someone who I love and have a lot of respect for just a minute. So if he happens to see this, I hope that he understands where I'm coming from here. Nerdrotic. Love Nerdrotic. And in his review, he was picking apart every little thing he could about why this was a crazy SJW thing, right? The fact that her father was abusive, the fact that Nick Fury held the cat instead of the gun in a fight, all this stuff. Well, when you see the film, and this now, and when I would rather be holding the cat than a gun in that fight. When you see how the cat is used in the movie, I would rather be the guy holding the cat than the guy holding a gun. Period. And so now Nerdrotic is also coming from a unique perspective, and this is where that justifiable fear comes in, is that Marvel Comics has been crazy SJW for what, a decade or more at this point. They've been trying to push Captain Marvel specifically as being the icon of Marvel Comics. They actually have issues of Captain Marvel where she is literally saying that she's beating down the patriarchy as she's beating up male supervillains and stuff. That is wrong, right? And so when Marvel pushes this hard left agenda, and you're right, Peter, let's not confuse the hard left SJWs with liberal. I try, and I know I don't always succeed, but I try to differentiate between the two. Liberal as opposed to far left are two different things, just like conservative compared to far right are two different things. All right, so let's not talk about mainstream. We're not talking about your mainstream conservatives, centrists, and liberals. We're talking about people on the extremes here. However, and yes, DJ, that's a great way. What DJ Odyssey just said. So you're saying Nerdrotic is just as offended and defensive towards Marvel as I am towards Star Trek. You are 100% right. Part of my problem with Discovery, and why it's taken so long for Discovery to even get me say that was a decent episode, is because of my long-term love of Star Trek. Nerdrotic has been deep in the comic book industry for a long time. Nerdrotic owned his own comic book store. He was actually working on getting a new comic book store opened, and so he is neck deep in this stuff. He saw what Marvel Comics did to destroy their own universe, and he was, and so he would be. I would naturally think, oh my God, they're pushing Captain Marvel. It's over, right? And so I understand that's where a lot of this negativity came from. That's where Geeks and Gamers, that's where the Quartering, that's where Doomcock, that's where Nerdrotic, that's where Mecha, that's where they're coming from. It's because they saw the pattern. And it's not, and it is a genuine pattern. This is a real thing. Marvel has successfully destroyed an empire by pushing this agenda. However, Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios have two different attitudes. Darren says, I think Marvel Studios should have Carol Danvers die of cancer like the original Captain Marvel and have Monica Rambeau take over. I disagree, Darren. I think that they need to have the battle on the bridge of Captain Marvel versus Rogue and have her die that way, and then, but still have Monica Rambeau take over. And so that would be awesome. So let's see, what you got here? So Zoom sent me something on Discord. It says, check Discord, don't shoo, but don't shoo? Oh, I assume you mean show, but read the post. No name, it's my far left cousin and her daughter. Okay, yeah, I understand. You don't want to show off in any doc dropping here. And so what your cousin said is, I'm sitting in a chair outside of the ladies' dressing room waiting for Beth. When I wait outside the men's dressing room, there's no seat. That is discriminatory. Actually, there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is that women tend to take longer in the dressing room than men. Men will go into the dressing room, pull the pants up, go, nope, take them off and move on. Women will, women take a lot more care and time into dressing themselves and all that. So it makes sense to have a seat. Let's see. Starch says Brie Larson and Steve Sives to hook up. One culturally appropriate cheese, one pretends he isn't bald. Probably wears baseball caps in the shower. Both are insane. I don't know anything about Steve's hair. I know people have said that for a while. I don't know if Steve has hair or not. I don't care. However, that was pretty good. And I know people have like made little Photoshop pictures of Steve being bald and whatever. That's that's funny. Mr. Miles says, but the people in charge of the comics answer the same people in charge of the movies, right? No, well, yes and no. I mean, Disney owns Marvel, right? Disney owns Marvel Studios. Disney owns Marvel Comics. However, just because they're under the same corporate umbrella doesn't mean that they're answerable to each other, right? Kevin Feige doesn't work at Marvel Comics. He works at Marvel Studios. He used to work at Marvel Comics. So let's talk about Endgame a little bit. But I hope they honor the OG characters in Endgame and use the alternative cut with less Captain Marvel. Now, I don't know that that's true as far as the whole thing where they shot two different versions. Now, I said this before, and I kind of stand by it though. Monica Rambeau is already in the MCU. The death of Captain Marvel would also give Brie a death scene opportunity. Actors love doing death scenes. I agree, and I think killing off Carol Danvers and bringing in Monica Rambeau would be the smart move. I really do, because she's a more interesting character. She has a more interesting look, and you can get rid of the wooden acting of Brie Larson and save face by saying this was our plan all along. So I think that would be a good idea. Shuttles with transporters and Telosians with long nasal cavities. Why change something that doesn't need to be changed? Because they are, and in fact, in my my breakdown of Discovery, I actually showed. Let me show you some of these. I happen to have the pictures right here. This is the Keeper from the original series. The Keeper appeared in 2 episodes: The Cage and, of course, The Menagerie. And the reason I distinguish that, and Jaffa Cree, says Mr. Miles, for some reason. Thank you for the $2. And I assume you're still thinking about Super Chat, so let me know. So anyway, so the Keeper, the reason I differentiate the Cage and the Menagerie is because of the fact that one takes place before the original series, one takes place during the original series. Remember, the Keeper communicates directly with Captain Kirk at the end of the Menagerie. So that this character is alive 13 years prior to the 5-year mission, as well as in the middle of the 5-year mission. This guy with the amulet here is the Keeper, according to the credits, is the Keeper in the Star Trek Discovery episode that we just saw. Now, besides the fact that they redesigned the head, this, the Keeper in the original, you can see has a very feminine body, but cast with a male voice, but a high-pitched male voice. And it kind of gave an alien feel to it, which was Gene Roddenberry's intent. This Keeper just sounded like, yeah, I'm the Keeper. And it just sounded all wrong, right? And then I realized, you know what the problem was? The makeup designs, they didn't base this guy on the Telosians. They based him on these guys. Because they look more like the modern Telosians than the Keeper by a long shot. Look at that. I don't think that, personally, I don't think there's any question. These two are the same basic species, while the Keeper from the Cage is totally different. So, yes. Anyway, Mr. Cap's saying, who played Monica Rambeau? I can't remember. It's the little girl in the in this movie, because remember, this movie takes place in 1995, so Monica Rambeau is just a little girl, and so I think that Monica now in the current time would be in her 30s, and so that's why I think they should do it. That would make sense. They man-washed the Keeper, yeah. Why? I mean, the funny thing about Discovery is that they always push this SJW agenda, and then they take one of the most powerful creatures in Star Trek and change to a man? Why? And why? Yeah, and they had the protruding eyebrows. They changed it to a protruding nasal cavity. That makes no sense. Clearly, the keeper was projecting an illusion, so they looked differently because they felt self-conscious about their formerly prominent brows. That must be it, Bentox. Hold on, I think. Let me grab my. This is my official retcon balloon here. Ow! Hit it a little too low. There we go. All right. Who would play Monica Rambeau in a modern day movie? That's a tough one. You know, I don't know off the top of my head. I try, you know, because you want for Monica Rambeau to work, you really need. Oh man. See, the problem is most of the actors I think of are too old at this point but it's tough. And I want the classic Monica Rambeau, not the more modern look of Monica Rambeau. But let me see if I can find a decent picture of her. Here's one that I've used a few times. So, you know, there's the general look of Captain Marvel. So I like the overall design of her character. I don't know what they're going to do. But here's the girl that plays her in the current movie. So obviously, and then this is her mother in the current movie. But who could play a Monica Rambeau today? I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. Hey, Trigger, if Discovery ended abruptly during this season, do you think the Star Trek fan base would do a campaign to bring it back like they did with TOS? No. They would say bury it. So, clearly, the obvious choice for Monica Rambeau is replacing her with John Rambeau. Yes. That would... Michael Burnham should play Monica. No, you know, Sonequa Martin Green, don't get me wrong. Sonequa Martin Green, I think she's too small. But yeah, the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel is, to me, the real Captain Marvel. And so that's what I want to see. Enter, you left your monitor open for us to see. Oh, is it still up? Yeah, it is. Let me switch back over. There we go. And let's see. Read my last comment, then look up Black Chick from Umbrella Academy. And let's see. Black Chick from Umbrella Academy. Never even... What is that? It's a TV series, I guess? Oh, okay. Is she the same one that played Storm in the more recent X-Men? Because she looks kind of like her. All the good black actresses are in Black Panther. Well, that's a genuine problem, honestly, Admiral. Is that I can't remember the name of the actress, but the one that played T'Challa's ex. I could see her playing Monica. But yeah, she's taken. I think the girl that plays Shuri is too. I don't know, too petite. But yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be tough, but I think but I want to see Monica Rambeau fleshed out in upcoming Marvel films. I think it would be cool. Well, they killed off Gamora from Guardians, so let Zoe. No, I don't think Zoe would be a good fit. Well, at least we know Ant Checker has morals. Doesn't have his Pirate Bay account tabs open like Cockings. You know, I don't use Pirate Bay very often. And you guys know, and I've said this before, I will only torrent movies that I already own. And the only reason I torrent them is so that I have an editable file for when I'm doing reviews and stuff. But I will not torrent a movie that I don't legitimately own. What season am I on at SG1? Season 6 is where me and Mrs. Antitrekker are at. Oh, man, I can't even pronounce that to Ben Talks. But the actress who plays, and then another name I can't pronounce, in American Gods. See, you guys, I don't get to watch much TV anymore, so let me take a look at that name and see if I can get a decent picture here. Yeah, I could see her. she's definitely got, I think she's got the right look. Let me bring it up here. I think that would make a good Monica Rambeau right there. And she's got enough curves for the outfit, because you got to have some curves to pull off that look. I can't pronounce her name, but I think that I'm with you. I think that would be a good choice. So Hector's American Gods was a good show. I haven't seen it. Brian says, hey, Anti-Trigger, how are you, Miss Anti-Trigger and Joshua, holding up? Are the week's getting better? It's slow but sure. The recovery takes time. And I'll be honest with you, you know, it's been tough, but we're starting to feel normal again. But it's been an uphill battle. Me from the future gives me today $5. Thank you, Anti-Trekker from the future. Haven't seen you in a little while, and I see that you updated your picture. So in the future, it looks like I've gotten less gray. Glad to see that. Or the one who plays Starfire in Titan. Stop. That was, oh, she looked horrible. Chief wants me to read his last comment. All right, Chief. Anti-Trekker, that black woman on Empire who played Cookie and the movie, what man want, she could play Captain Marvel. I don't watch Empire, so I don't know her, but let me look her up real quick. So that's Cookie is the character name. Let me, waiting for it. She could, although I think Monica should be a little darker skinned, but I could see that. Someone with Motown, I agree, Darren, that's true. We need someone with some Motown in them to really pull off Monica Rambeau. And remember, she is from Louisiana too, so she's got to be able to pull off that accent. That future picture is great. I gotta give it, yeah. Edgetrigger, do you know Sean Connery was supposed to play Cybok in Star Trek V? They kept the name Shakari because it sounds like Sean Connery. I did not know that, Daniel. That is really funny if true. Stargate must suck if you're getting through it so quickly. Actually, I've enjoyed it, although I have to say, Season 5, I think Season 6 so far, you can feel the fact that the budget is lower than it was in Season 5. Because I believe Season 6 is the first season on the Sci-Fi Channel. And you can definitely feel the difference in the budget. However, I'm still enjoying it. Enter, why didn't you comment now to Bird so that he can read it in his next live stream? That's actually not a bad idea. An anti-trekker, me from the future, puts $2 and says, how about Zoe Saldana from Star Trek 2009? No, but not... Here's the thing. Zoe has already played Gamora in the MCU. I don't want to see a recognizable face in two different roles. So I don't think that would be a good idea. So Bird of Prey's like, what about me? Well, very simple, Bird of Prey. Hold on just a minute. Let me, we're going to fix this right now. Let's go to Bird of Prey 5. And... by the way, Bird, congratulations. You broke 250 subscribers, I see. Very good. All right, so look at this. So here's what we're going to do. Check this out. Okay, so there's my live stream going. Hey, look, there's Bird of Prey's live stream getting ready to, you know, so there we go. I am officially first today. I don't care what time Bird of Prey streams. I left the first comment. And heck, let's hit the like button. So, there we go. Congratulations, Bird of Prey. Your live stream has been streamed on my live stream, even though you haven't even started it. So, and yeah. So, you have a conference call in 3 minutes. All right, everybody right now, you can go to Bird of Prey's live stream, even though he's not streaming. Here's the link. I'll put it in the chat right now. So go to Bird of Prey's live stream right now. Everybody give it a like, and you can put a comment in there for him. He'll have the most watched non-active live stream ever. So there you go. Star Trek. Josh is in there. Anti-Trekker for the future. Yes, DJ. Of course, the problem is, you know, he will never see any of these comments. But because what happens, and this is a weird thing, like if with the with the way that the system works, is like if somebody comments when you're not on, after a few minutes you can't see it. But yeah. Is somebody getting whacked, Bird of Prey? That's a good question. Alexia, count to 1,000 in German. What if Monica Rambeau is in Black Panther? She is a guard. Her dad becomes Wakanda, and she leaves after the snap and becomes Captain Marvel. I think that would be a bit contrived to put her in Wakanda. However, you know, you could introduce her in Black Panther 2. So I think that would work. Alexa, call mom. And so let's see. Please don't stop with Stargate season 8. 7 is weak and 8 is the low point, but 9 and 10 are getting good again. If not being one of the best. Well, I'm gonna push my way through the whole thing, Firetail. I absolutely am. So, and thank you so much for the $5. And I do truly appreciate it. Enter switch screens. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. Thank you. Not that I have anything embarrassing up there or anything, but yeah. But now you guys can kind of see how when I'm actually doing my live stream, so I have right in front of me here, this is where my live stream interface, so I can see your chats and everything there. And then over here on my second monitor, like here, I was looking up, this is the Cookie from Empire pictures and stuff. And then over here, this is my streaming software that I use. And then up here is Discord. So that's, now you've seen the whole shebang, the whole setup. Darren says, not all black superheroes need to be associated with Wakanda. True. And that's the thing. I would not, like, if you were going to introduce Captain Marvel in Black Panther 2, I would not have her in Wakanda. I would have Black Panther, say, in New York and meet her. What is happening now is happening now. That's interesting. Alexa, order 25 copies of The Last Jedi. Anti-Tracker, catch you on Patreon G2F. Got to fart? It's kind of interesting to see you looking at your set. Well, yeah, that's kind of my general setup. I'm going to, when I get the new webcam, I might rearrange things a little bit, but yes. Alexa, donate $1,000 to Anti-Trekker's Patreon. Thank you very much, Mr. Captain. That's the best comment of the day. Anti-Trekker, you'll start Atlantis soon. I'm so proud. Anti-Trekker needs to look at all those screens as Star Trek Discovery Daft Punk helmet to finish off the look. That would be cool. Yes, I could do that. Got to fly. That's what I mean. Okay, gotcha. All right, well, Zoom, a.k.a. Darth Revan, have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on the Patreon stream later. Did you say earlier that Brie Larson was in A Wrinkle of Time? She's not listed in Wikipedia as a member of the cast. Well, I know that that's what she was talking about. Let's take a look at Not Got to... I still think Got to Fart is better, though. Come on. You got to admit that Got to Fart was like... That was like great. Because, you know, it's like not what you're expecting. So from now on, anybody puts G2F, it's Got to Fart. All right, so let's look up A Wrinkle in Time. We'll go to the IMDb page, and let me switch monitors over here so we can see it. All right, Wrinkle in Time. See full cast and crew, and let's see here. Enter my last comment, 1 to 23 in German. Let me see. What was your last comment, Darth? Where is it? I can't find your last comment, Darth. Discord message, any trigger actors who are suggested for Star Trek. Let me see, Peter. Man, you guys are just like making me go all over the place here. Whoa, you got like a big old thing here. That's... Andrew Robinson, Oh, that's Sean Connery, Shanner, Bennett, McBride. Let's see. James Marsters, James Marsters over Dr. Daniel Jackson. Yeah, I know who Michael Shanks is, but let's see. Really, Michael Shanks auditioned for Shinzon? I did not know that. But anyway, let me, so let's see. Yeah, you're right. I don't see Brie Larson listed here. So what was Brie Larson's thing about Wrinkle in Time? Well, let's do this. Let's look up Brie Larson. All right. So Brie Larson. Let's see. Captain Jay-Z, The Kong, Skull Island, Trainwreck, Dream Fire, J. Lewis, Community, Colin, Bitter Orange, Waiting. Yeah, she had nothing to do with it. Why was she going off about Wrinkle in Time? She wasn't in it. She was in Scott Pilgrim? I don't even remember her in that. That was a fun movie. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Maybe she would... No, didn't do anything there. Didn't do anything there. Didn't do anything there. Yeah, I have no idea why she was talking about Wrinkle in Time. She had nothing to do with the Wrinkle in Time. What is her deal? No, it was clearly Wrinkle in Time. If I'll find the Wrinkle in Time speech here because let me let's see. Go to YouTube and Brie Larson Wrinkle in Time speech. Okay, so it's at the Crystal Awards is where she said it.
I am so grateful to be up here to receive this award so I can not thank my family and my team and instead talk about something that's really important to me.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. No, she wasn't listed as a producer on the film. I'm trying to see why.
I'd like to bring to light an aspect of our industry that has risen to the surface in the last week. It's an issue that's been bubbling since really the whole time, but this issue has a solution that each one of us in this room can participate in.
So far, man, yes, you're right. I need to change the settings here. Speed, we'll try 1.5.
So earlier this week, USC Annenberg's Inclusive Initiative released findings that 67% of the top critics reviewing the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017 were white males.
67% of the critics are white men. 67%. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. But yeah, let's keep going here. I'm probably going to get DMCA'd for showing
Less
this.
than a quarter were white women, and less than 10% were unrepresented men. Only 2.5% of those top critics were women of color. So you're probably thinking right now, wow, that super doesn't represent the country that I live in, and that's because that's true. This is a huge disconnect from the U.S. population breakdown of 30% white men, 30% white women, 20% men of color, and 20% women of color.
Now, here's the interesting thing about what she's saying, and this is something that absolutely drives me bonkers about far-left progressive thinking, is that her problem with the percentage, the fact that 67% of film critics in the Film Critic Association are white men, is because 67% of the country is not white men, right? Only about 30% of the country is white men. Is that sped up or how she... It is sped up a little bit, but that is also how she talks. She's really got an annoying mannerism about her. But here's the thing. It's not that women can't be film critics. It's not that women of color can't be film critics. If that were the case, they wouldn't be film critics, right? It would be 90% white men. However, and please, if you agree with Brie Larson on this, please try to hear me out on this. Not an equal amount of every racial group wants to be a film critic. Maybe, just maybe, white men tend to like to criticize things more than women of color. Just, I know, racist, right, to even suggest that. But it's something that people don't understand, is that white men may have an inkling to go, it's just like, for example, if I were to argue, hey, did you know that, 72% of professional makeup artists are women, right? And you're like, well, that's not fair. We need more men. Or maybe women just like that kind of work more than men, right? And I don't know. I don't know what the percentages are for makeup artists. I'm just throwing something out there. But it has, it's this whole outcome-based solutions that they come up with, right? The Admiral, I'm not going to even give that the light of day. And so, and now Bird of Prey is getting into the gay stuff again because, yeah. Can we talk about how ugly? Yeah, that is an ugly dress. Not going to argue with you there. Women get paid more in porn than men do. That's actually very true. So anyway, so just because a larger percentage of critics are white men than other groups does not necessarily mean discrimination. It doesn't mean that there's this systemic problem. What it means is that unless you can demonstrate that women are being stopped, right? That's the, if you can show instances where a woman who was fully qualified to be a film critic, as good a writer as any man and all that, and they won't hire because she's a woman, yes, that is wrong. However, she's not complaining about that. She's just complaining that 67% of the critics are men. And yeah, and you're a film critic and a checker and a middle-aged man. That is true. So Brie Larson hates me. Actually, fortunately, she said 40-year-olds. I'm over 50 now, so I don't count. And the funny thing is that technically I'm a protected category now because age discrimination. But you're right, Admiral. Women, as a general practice, don't prefer to express criticisms openly. That is a difference between men and women. Where men do it all the time just for fun. Heck, I make a hobby out of it, right? But she's 40. No, she was complaining about 40-year-olds. I'm not saying, I don't know how old Brie is. I don't care. Stop assuming your own gender. You're right. I need to stop that. All right, let's continue.
So why does that matter? Why am I up here giving you statistics?
It doesn't matter, Brie. It really doesn't. But let's go on.
When I could be spending this time talking about my publicist, Lindsay, who I love, and thank you so much for bringing Jesse up here and making me super emotional while I rattle off percentages of people. On top of all of this, am I saying that I hate white dudes? No, I'm not. But
No, I'm not. Did you hear that? I mean, listen to the way she says that. It's so funny here because it sounds like she clearly does hate white dudes, but she has to say no, she doesn't. Listen to her voice when she says no.
Saying that I hate white dudes? No, I'm not.
The way she says no there.
Dudes? No, I'm not. But
she clearly didn't want to say that. That is hilarious to me because she clearly, she wants to say yes, but she can't.
What I am saying is that if you make a movie that is a love letter to women of color, there is an insanely low chance a woman of color will have the chance to see your movie and review your movie.
That is an absolute lie. So if you make a movie about women of color, right? Then I would dare say that critics who are women of color will see the movie and talk about it, right? You know what? Brie may not understand this, but generally speaking, if you are a professional film critic, you go to see freaking every movie. So, that's... it's not an incredibly small percentage that some critic who's a woman of, you know what, it's an incredibly large percent. If you put out any major release of any film, there's a very large percentage that some critics of every gender, of every race, is going to see your movie if it's a major release. Obviously, if you put out some art film that's only in 3 theaters, then, you know, it just depends on what's available at your area. But no, there is nothing. What she's saying is an absolute lie. Firetail throws €5 in. Thank you so much. Says, when I go to the cinema, about 80% of the visitors are male. So I'm wondering what the percentage is on white males going to the cinema, especially action films. So I would say, yeah, as far as men tend to be attracted to action films, sci-fi, fantasy, stuff like that. Women tend to prefer dramatic films, period pieces, and of course, rom-coms, or what we call chick flicks. And there's a good reason for it, and it's not that one is better than the other, okay? The reason they appeal differently, and again, I know it's horrible of me to suggest that there's anything different between men and women, but the reason that men tend to flock to action films and women tend to flock to what we call chick flicks is because when we talk about struggle, when we talk about, you know, what makes a movie, any movie, good, what makes it good is the drama of the film, right? That you have to have that emotional connection. Now, what is good drama? Well, drama can come in a few forms. Physical conflict is drama, right? Ethical dilemmas is drama. Personality clashes is drama. The one thing that is common in all drama is conflict of some kind, right? Whether it's internal or external. And by the way, Brian, I love The Notebook. Heck, I got, you know, Captain Redneck stopped supporting my channel because I love The Notebook. True facts. Anyway, but drama is what makes a movie compelling to people. Now, then break it down to, well, how do men and women see drama, right? Most men like the physical struggle, like the idea, because here's what men fantasize about, is overcoming a physical opponent, right? We want to be Rocky and get into that ring and beat up Apollo Creed, or we want to be, you know, Star-Lord and shoot the aliens, or whatever character it might be. We want to overcome the enemy. That's what men tend to like. Women think of drama on an emotional level, that they want to overcome emotional baggage, or they want to convince somebody else of their position. It's a different type of fight. And part of that is not simply because men and women have different brains, it's because we have different bodies. All right? Men are physically designed for combat. Women are not. All right? And so men fantasize about combat, and women do not. So, men and women need tissues watching a good movie. That's true. A good movie, you know, a good emotional movie will make anybody cry. I'm sorry. I cried at the beginning of Captain Marvel because of the Stan Lee thing, but unfortunately, that's the only time the movie got me in the feels. Another point, Anti-Trekker, who is she? Did we know her before Captain Marvel? No, she was in she was in Kong Skull Island. She was in Scott Pilgrim. She was in a couple of movies that were on the nerd radar, but was she anything special? No. So Alexander is here, says, I'm here. Jar Jar Binks is, should come back in Star Wars 9. Neelix, Neelix should be in the Pantheon. Cybok is one of the best characters ever. Bernie 2020 feel burn. Good to see you, my friend. And you're just as nuts as always. Tracker for the Future said, cried watching Castaway. And Castaway, see, that's an interesting one, because movies like Castaway are actually a combination of the two. That's why men and women, some movies, men and women both graft onto. Titanic is another perfect example, because Titanic had the physical struggle of surviving the shipwreck, but the emotional side of the love story and all that. All right, so with Brie doesn't seem to get this, right? She and a lot of people don't. They think that we need to make our action movies for women. You know what? And here, I'm just going to say it. Mrs. Antitrekker loves good action movies, right? She enjoys the Marvel films for the most part. The one thing I absolutely love about being married to Mrs. Antitrekker, besides the fact that she is smoking hot and everything, but one of the things I absolutely love about being married to Mrs. Antitrekker is that when a movie comes out that I'm excited to see, for example, Avengers Endgame, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Spider-Man Far From Home, right? And Mrs. Antitrekker's like, yeah, let's go see those. She's not like, well, we need to go see a rom-com to make up for it. She doesn't care about rom-coms. She which is cool. But here's the thing. You don't need to change the action movie to appeal to women. Women that find action movies appealing are already going. And what you're doing by trying to make Star Wars for girls or superheroes for girls, when you don't understand the mindset of your audience, is you end up pushing the audience away. Now, I think Captain Marvel does better than Star Wars did or Star Trek did or Ghostbusters, any of that crap, right? Captain Marvel's definitely a better film, even though Brie is the worst part of it. But you don't need to change the formula to appeal to women. Women that are drawn to action are already going to action films. And so even though it was not a particular favorite of mine, Mad Max Fury Road did a better job of it than these modern films. Now, Mad Max Fury Road, I thought, was basically an above average, barely above average action film, right? I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I'd probably put it in the same league as Captain Marvel. It was not bad, but it wasn't great. However, it got freaking Best Picture at and everybody was celebrating this movie as being so awesome just because it had a woman in the lead. I'm sorry, if that doesn't make it a good movie any more than it would be a good movie just because you put a dude in the lead. Back in the day, oh man, let me tell you, Darren. So Darren said back in the day, most Jean-Claude Van Damme fans were 18 to 35-year-old females. Some same today with Jason Momoa. Here's the thing. I will tell you. So this is absolutely true, but it is. You guys will appreciate it. Bloodsport, right? The movie that put Jean-Claude Van Damme on the map. And if you have not seen Bloodsport, let me tell you, Bloodsport is cheesy. The acting is horrible. Forrest Whitaker is in it and is just awful in it. Everything about the movie is awful as far as the acting. However, the fight scenes are phenomenally good. That's what the movie's all about, is just the fight scenes. I mean, the story and all that is just a loosely knit thing just so that we can get to the fight scenes. Now, there is a scene in that movie where Jean-Claude Van Damme, who plays Frank Dukes, there's a reporter that's trying to find out about the Kumite, blah, 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 blah. They hook up, they have dinner together, and then they go back to his place. And of course, then they cut to next day. She's lying in bed and he's getting dressed, right? And there is a shot in the movie of Jean-Claude Van Damme butt naked, pulling up his underwear from behind. Mrs. Antitrekker loved that shot. Okay, she is an absolute fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme's butt, right? So she thought that was incredible. So yes, women get into that stuff, right? So that's, but the thing is that, so then if you want to get women to see a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, you're not going to do it by replacing Jean-Claude Van Damme with a woman. You're not going to get, and Jason Momoa, a lot of women are drooling over Jason Momoa. And again, Mrs. Antitrekker, she thinks Jason Momoa is a beautiful human being, right? And so, and I already told her she's not allowed to ever meet Jason Momoa or Dr. Alex because she likes them all too much. But the thing is that you're not going to get women to go see a Jason Momoa film by putting Jason Momoa in a bad movie. As Star Trek, Spider-Man's butt is nicer than Brie Larson's butt, and I'm not even gay. Well, that's true, but Brie Larson's butt is just, yeah, that's gross. Better not let her watch Stargate. Yeah, I told her that Jason Momoa is in Stargate Atlantis, and she's like, "Oh, good, I can look forward to that." And I'm like, "Oh, jeez, right, I'm screwed." And the thing is, yes, and there are women that can kick ass, right? Look at, oh gosh, I can't remember her name. I feel bad, but what's the name of the female lead in Edge of Tomorrow? She absolutely kicked ass in that movie, right? And she pulled it off. However, when Brie Larson fights in Captain Marvel, it's so painfully obvious when it's her. Emily Blunt, thank you. Emily Blunt pulled it off. She was awesome in that. Sigourney Weaver, she does it in a different way. I mean, Sigourney Weaver's not like punching people, but yeah, you get the ass kickery from her. Same thing with Sarah Connor and, you know, a bunch of others. But when Brie Larson is in this movie, it's so funny when you see, and you're right, Zoe Saldana as Gamora does a really good job too. And Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, another great one. But in this, so in Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's getting ready to fight. You see Brie Larson, she's like, you know, and then they cut to the woman who is obviously Scarlett Johansson's stunt double from the Avengers films, doing all the cool moves, right? And then back to her, you know, she can't pull it off. Brie sucks at it. Her stunt doubles are great, but it was, yeah. And also, and of course, the easiest way to tell if you're looking at the stunt double versus Brie is look at her butt. It's so freaking hilariously obvious. Anyway, let's continue on with Brie's stupidity here.
And this is also not to mention other people besides white dudes like Star Wars and would love the opportunity to do a set visit. And I'm also saying I don't hate white dudes. I'm just saying we need to be conscious of our bias and do our part to make sure that everyone is in the...
We need to be conscious of our bias, as she says 3 times now in less than a minute that she doesn't hate white dudes. Maybe she needs to check her bias a little bit and realize that she hates white dudes. I mean, come on. And here's the thing. I don't know who all got set visits at Star Wars. All right? I no clue. But I would be willing to bet my life savings that they were not all white dudes, as she's saying. Right? I truly do not believe that every single person that worked for the media that got a set visit on the set of Star Wars was a white dude. Brie's double makes me think of The Simpsons when Homer became an action man. They kept switching between him and he was fat and when he was thin at the same scene over and over. Yes. I cannot wait until Captain Marvel comes out on Blu-ray because I'm definitely going to be breaking some of that down because I think it's hilarious. Even though I enjoyed the movie, some of the way they were trying to coddle Brie is just hilarious. But Kevin Smith visits Star Wars. That doesn't make him bad. It just means Kevin Smith was there. I don't know who, like I said, I have no idea who all went. But you know what? She's talking out of her ass right now, and she doesn't have an ass to talk out of. Because she doesn't know who went to visit at Star Wars. She's just throwing that out there like she does. I don't wish I was as racist as Brie. Yeah.
So what would it take for the critic pool to match this 30-30-20-20 real-world breakdown, and how can we get there? Well, here I am. It's easier than you might think. The bottom line is that if each of the top 100 films in a year added 9 critics that are 3 underrepresented males, 3 white females, 3 underrepresented females, and the average critic pool would match the U.S. population in just 5 years.
So now what she's saying is that we need to force diversity in critics. And Peter, I'll take a look at that article you sent me in just a couple minutes. Let me finish the Brie Larson thing, and then, yeah, I don't. Yeah. That's why I like Godzilla movies. When you deny it more than once, you're probably hiding the truth and trying to show a false narrative. I agree. I think that, and she is so, yeah, that's a great place to pause it because that right there sums it up as far as Brie's attitude towards people. No one talks about how the NBA doesn't reflect America's racial percentage. You're absolutely, you know, and that's the thing. Why isn't she sitting there saying, hey, why aren't there women in the NBA? Why aren't there more white dudes in the NBA? Because I don't hate white dudes. You know, if I was to get up there and say, we need more white dudes in the NBA. Oh, I don't hate black dudes, but we need more white dudes in the NBA. People would call me a racist and they'd be right to do so. And of course, somebody's going to clip that out of context now. I can just see Mr. Miles, getting on that. Trigger. So I'm not a racist. I think everyone gets to spit on the straight white old guys, especially. Yes. Ask Bree what she try. Would she trade place with a black woman in Hollywood? Well, here's the funny thing about that. And let me see. What did you send, Daniel, sir? Daniel, start to have to show before Discovery season. I will check that out, Daniels, but I can't right now but we'll get to that. All right, let me get back to. But here's the ironic thing: is that Marvel Studios has built their empire on emulating Marvel comics from the 70s and early 80s. However, Brie Larson comes in and pushes a strong black female character to the side so that she can be Captain Marvel. How ironic is that? So most of us that have been comic book collectors wanted to see the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel. Instead, we got her. And then she's sitting there talking about the evils of white dudes. She just pushed a black woman out of a job. So, whatever. And what? Yeah. So let's continue on.
Super simple. Really sucks that reviews matter, but reviews matter. Good reviews out of festivals give small independent films a fighting chance to be bought and seen. Good reviews help films gross money. Good reviews slingshot films into awards contenders. A good review can change your life. It changed mine.
That is another lie. Okay. Can good reviews help a movie? Yes. However, the way she's talking about is that, and Alexander, she actually doesn't speak that fast. I have it playing faster because I don't want to spend 6 hours going through her speech. But can a good review make a difference? Absolutely can. However, look at if you look at the history of film criticism, there have been plenty of movies that have gotten shoddy reviews that became mega hits, and there are plenty of movies that get great reviews that are flops. Because ultimately, the reviews are secondary to the marketing. The marketing is what makes or breaks a film, not whether or not a film critic liked it. A small, and I do mean a small, percentage of moviegoers will check the reviews before they go see a movie. Most people will go see a movie because they saw the trailer and it looks good. Right? They'll say, ooh, that movie. And remember, when a month ago, when we were talking about Captain Marvel, I said, based on the trailer, forget about the SJW crap, but forget about Brie Larson in this speech. I said that based on the trailers, it looks like it's going to be an average MCU film. And bam, that's exactly what we got. But why can't we get another Shawshank Redemption? Amazing story-driven movies are no longer made today. They're made, they're just not very common. And you're right, Berta Prey, because ultimately, in fact, Star Wars did not come out to rave reviews when it came out back in 1977. And guess what? Biggest hit of all time at the time. Jaws did not get great reviews when it first came out. A lot of movies that we consider classics did not get great reviews. And Traeger, the irony is the speech seems more often associated with Captain Marvel than A Wrinkle in Time. Yeah, but the speech was made last year. And she was talking about Wrinkle in Time, even though it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what she got the award for. I wonder if it's in the description here. No, it doesn't. I don't know what the award is for, but let's continue on.
Our industry has gone through a major growth. Thank you for clapping for my good reviews. I love that. It's like so excited. You're like, yeah, that one time.
Okay, so Brie Larson just got Crystal Award for Excellence in Film. That's her award. Admiral Villar says Captain Marvel's the worst MCU movie. Fight me. Okay. I think that Thor: The Dark World was worse. I think The Incredible Hulk was worse. I think that the first Captain America film was probably worse. So I'm not saying it's a great movie, but I don't think it's the absolute worst. People check the trailer, the names of the actors buzz around it, and only last the critics. Absolutely right. The Monty Burns Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Yes, that's what it should be. Do you see any colored women on stage with her? Nope. I see 3 white women. Now, I don't hate white chicks, but I only see 3 white women. Where are the women of color? Where are the girls of color that Bree is sitting there ragging on right now? Where are they? Because I don't hate white chicks, but I don't see any women of color up here. All right, let's continue.
Our industry has gone through a major growth. We are expanding to make films that better reflect the people that buy movie tickets.
Oh, man, that's the worst thing ever. Alexander puts 2 of his fake Canadian dollars in and says 7 of 9 didn't get great reviews. I don't remember what the reviews were like on her when she first came out. I think a lot of people called her out to be what she is, was just a semi-objectified woman because they wanted to get more ratings, which I think is true. But she did end up being an interesting character, but that was my gut reaction. The woman on the left looks perhaps Hispanic, but now you see you're assuming. To be fair, one of them could be 1,024th ethnic, yes. Brie Larson got an award for excellence for what? She's only been in 3 movies. Right? Well, she's been in a few movies, but let me take a look at, let's look at 2018 specifically. Let's go to IMDb. We'll go to Brie's IMDb page. All right, and so in 2018, well, that can't be. So she made Kong Skull Island in 2017, The Glass Castle, which nobody saw in 2017, Basmati Blues, The Unicorn Store. This is a short film, so yeah, she hasn't done jack. Why did she get an award in 2000? She doesn't. The only thing she had come out in 2018 was Jay-Z Family Feud featuring Beyonce. Seriously? She gets an award for being in a Jay-Z video? That's the only thing she did in 2018? Oh, Room. Yeah, she was in Room, but Room is 2015. Why does she win a 2018 award when she didn't do jack in 2018? So, yeah, that's just stupid. All right, let's continue.
But they are not allowed enough chances to read public discourse on these films by the people that these films were made for. I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time.
And there's the line that a lot of people got pissed off. I don't care what a 40-year-old white dude had to say about A Wrinkle in Time. So what? Wrinkle in Time in for you. You. Yeah, the head movement is like, that's really funny.
It wasn't made for him. I want to know what that film meant to women of color to buy.
Why do you want to know? And this is a serious question. Why do you want to know what the film meant to women of color? You are not a woman of color. So why do you care about that? Shouldn't you want to know what white women think of the movie, since that's what you are? After all, you think that identity is everything, right? That only a black person can speak for and make advice to black people. Only a white person can talk, like white men can only give reviews to white men. Therefore, you need a white woman to give the review for you to understand it because you're a freaking racist. Because that makes no sense. All right. Look, I understand that there are certain elements of culture that are not easily understandable by people who are not of that culture, right? So there are some things that a white person might have the difficulty grasping about Asian culture or black culture or whatever, and vice versa. That being said, if I'm writing a review for A Wrinkle in Time and I say, well, the visual effects were iffy at best, the story seemed a little convoluted, the acting was subpar. None of that is race specific. Now, if I want to say you know, I don't understand all, you know, I'm trying to think, you know, if you want to get, let's get all stereotypical. I don't understand all the references to fried chicken or something. And then you say, oh, well, that's because you're not black, right? And then you could, and then that, or, for example, the way that it is a cultural difference in the United States as far as how to discipline children, right? Different cultures in the United States have very different beliefs about how to discipline children. White people tend to take the more lenient approach, right? That you should negotiate with your kids, that you should talk to your kids and that kind of thing. And then, but then when you get into many of the more ethnic communities, discipline becomes a very, very different thing, right? And so where corporal punishment is included, much more severe punishment is included, and that kind of thing. So you might, if there was a movie in which, for example, let's say you have a black family and the kid talks back to their parents, and so that they, you know, they're like, oh, I'm going to tan your hide for that. And then the next thing you see is the kid crying in bed because their butt hurts. And then there would be a lot of white people that are like, oh my God, child abuse. And then there would be black people that say, yeah, that's right. Okay, because that is a cultural difference. However, if I was to say, you know, the way they transitioned there was very jarring and didn't make a lot of sense, or I don't quite understand why the kid was being punished, it didn't make sense in the flow of the story, or boy, the performances here were really wooden. That's a criticism that anybody can make. And so I don't understand what Bree's problem here is, but and the worst part of it is that Bree is saying how the ethnicity and gender of the critics don't reflect the purchasers of the tickets, and on that, she could not be more wrong. Because the film industry, particularly films like Captain Marvel, are not supported by women of color. I mean, yes, women of color go see it. Mrs. Antitrekker went with me to go see Captain Marvel. But the primary driver of ticket sales is, as she says, white dudes. And Mr. Miles, you're right in that the South in general is more strict than what the North and the coasts. However, the South has softened up a lot compared to what it was not too long ago. And yeah, what about the Chinese market, right? Does that mean that we should only have Chinese critics because, you know, China's becoming a much, much larger film market? Fried chicken is tasty for whites too. Yeah, you know what's funny is Bernie 2020. I can't remember who it was. I think it was actually, you know, the banned comedian Louis C.K. because Louis C.K. is the worst person ever to walk the planet because he whacks off. But the he made a joke about this. He's like, you know, black people really like fried chicken. You know who else likes fried chicken? Everybody. Yeah, that's true.
Biracial women to teen women of color, to teens that are biracial. And for the third time, I don't hate white dudes. These are just facts. These are not my feelings. And I'm really sorry, Lindsay. Please don't kill me.
I'm not going to even say what it looks like she's doing right there. Oh, man. I paused it at just the right moment there. Oh, man. So... Oh. So again, I don't hate white dudes, right? I'm just, and here's the funny thing. So she's talking about how we need to have the, oh man. Oh man. Yeah. She is, boy, I tell you, that is a thumbnail waiting to happen on a YouTube video. That it really is. But she is, she is not talking about representation because she just said that this film is for teens of color and biracial teens, right? That's what she just said. So does that mean that the film industry should start hiring teenage biracial girls to be film critics? Andrew, I was just about to ask you to turn that into your thumbnail. Yeah. Yeah, there's like, here's the funny thing. Like, we've all seen those thumbnails. Let me do something real quick. This is going to be horrible, but let's do file new and base it on the clipboard. All right, so this, by the way, is wonderful Photoshop. Let's see. So we'll paste the picture. All right, so in fact, let's do the. Do I have? Let's see what I have up here. We have the televisions. We have. Let's do this. Open. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I know this asking me to look at all this stuff, but let me go to anti-tracker. Here we go. All right, so this is, I'm just bringing up my general template that hopefully it'll load. Come on, load, stupid. Why is it not loading? Oh, it's still thinking. All right, there we go. All right, so this is my thumbnail template that I use. So let's go, we'll paste Bree's picture in here. And so then we need to, we'll do a free transform. And let's see, so we want the height to be about 150%, maybe a little more, 175. That looks better. So, anatomy of a thumbnail here. All right, so here's what we do. So here's our thumbnail, right? Now, you know, we constantly have this. I don't do these types of videos, but a lot of people do. So let's go 10 secrets about Brie Larson, right? So this is like the, you know, one of those movies that, or one of those videos that we're always looking at that come up in our suggested box. So, but one thing that we do all the time is let's bring up the old brush tool and let's do a nice bright red, I think. And we'll need a new layer for it. So layer, new. All right. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so now let's make the brush a little bit bigger. That's good. All right, so we know, we've seen this before, the like 10 secrets about Brie Larson. So let's do this. There we go. So there's our thumbnail of Brie Larson. Oh man. So oh, that was horrible of me. All right. So all right, so oh, wait, you're right. Let me go back. Hold on. You're right. Let me go. So we got to do one other thing. So let's bring up the text editor. And we need to make the text much, much bigger than that. So we'll make it about 150 points. That's better. Change the font to something a little more comic-y. There we go. That's more comic book. We need to move this over a little bit. So we'll bring it up. And we need to go back to 150. Okay. Dang it, I messed up everything. All right, let's go back to, where's that? I like that font. Okay. And then we'll do a free transform on this. So, yeah. And then we'll do a little bit of little blending here where we'll bevel it, and let's do a drop shadow. That'll look better. There we go. There we go. So there's our brief thumbnail. And, oh man, that's just wrong. So now we have, somebody needs to make a video, 10 secrets about Brie Larson, so they could use this thumbnail. I tell you, that is just so wrong. That's a beautiful work of art, though, don't you think? I'm going to have to use that for something. But and you know what? I'll bet you, if I could come up with something good to put with this video, I could probably get a huge number of hits for that. In fact, I think I will. That's it. I'm going to record a video that I'm going to use this thumbnail without. I'm not going to make any other changes. I'm going to use this thumbnail in an upcoming video, and we'll see if this gets taken down or not. But we'll see.
As some of you know, I immediately jumped onto Frances's brilliant words, inclusion writer, and this was way before she had bumper stickers for her iPad, because I know that this means that my work will be shown, digested, discussed by a variety of people, not just a singular perspective. I want to know what my work means to the world, not a narrow view. Thanks, Mom.
Well, I'll tell you what your work means to the world. Jack and my avatar. Honestly. So, yeah. This video should be called the 10 Things Anti-Trekker Wants to Do to Brie Larson. No, because you know what? Brie Larson I don't find particularly attractive. So, no, that's not really my thing. The SJW... Oh, I've been attacked by SJWs already. Laughable. Not that they don't scare me. Because here's the thing. And here's the ironic thing. You guys know this, all right? Anybody that has followed my channel for any length of time knows this already. I am nobody's right-winger, right? I defended the movie Captain Marvel. I said the last episode of Star Trek Discovery was actually good. All right, so I am not one of these people that's just going to blindly attack it just because Brie Larson is in it. However, that, you know, the thing is that if they want to attack me because I don't think Brie Larson was a good choice for Captain Marvel, and I'm going to make fun of her attitudes because she's dragged. You know, I'll tell you, that opening weekend number, 455 million, is pretty impressive. I'll bet you it would have been 500 million had Brie not opened up her mouth. So Mr. Miles says, I'm actually a closet SJW. I've been fooling you all. Dang it. You outed me, Mr. Miles. You're right. So look forward to a video coming this week with that thumbnail where I'm going to talk about Brie Larson. I'll probably talk about this speech, actually. Brie was accused by a neighbor of stealing newspaper in 2002. She can avoid charges by paying the neighbor's car loan off. Yes, absolutely. She should. Oh, so Bird is working on the list of things about the secrets. Brie has a terrible toenail fungus. Yes. Brie has recurring lice infections as a child, so lived with a shaved head for 6 months. Brie hates the cheese of the same name, lactose intolerant. Does anybody know if the padded room next to Enderman's padded room is empty due to Anti-Trekker losing his mind after liking the last 2 Star Trek Discovery episodes? Well, I only liked the last one. The one before it I thought was borderline. So the last one, the one with, and I find it amazing, the one with the Telosians is the first one that I genuinely liked. But yeah, I may need a padded room. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm intolerant against cheese. I just don't think it accurately reflects the food on the snack tray. You're right, Matthew. You're absolutely right. Brie wants butt cheek implant. Yeah, Brie needs to talk to Nicki Minaj's surgeon. She seriously does. And because, yeah, I don't know what her problem is. I don't know why she hates men. But obviously she has a problem. Is it wrong to say that chick looks like a gremlin? Oh, the one that was on the screen? Which one? Which I don't know which one you mean specifically. I don't think they look like gremlins. They just look kind of messed up there. Well, you are friends with Steve Shives, so it's quite possible you're an SJW. That is true. Well, I haven't talked to Steve in a number of years, so not since really the Untitled Show About Nerdy Stuff days. So that was 2016. That was the last time I talked to Steve. Bree needs chest implants. I don't think she needs chest implants, but first thing she needs is a brain transplant. Brie Larson needs a brain transplant, number one. And if Brie, I think the brain slugs from Futurama would starve to death if they attach themselves to Brie Larson. We still need SJW movement for us left-handers. Well, that's true. Us left-handers are still discriminated against, and yet nobody speaks up for us. Nobody. Not one person. You know what? 20% of the audience of all Marvel movies are left-handed people, and yet we don't have any left-handed critics speaking out. I want to know what they think, because all we hear is what these right-handed critics think. That's, yeah. Brie, another dumb blonde. Well, that's the funny thing. Brie really does come across as a dumb blonde. And all these people that are celebrating her at this awards ceremony. I mean, first of all, if the award meant something, I'm sure at least one of us would have heard of the Crystal Awards before this speech. The only reason now that anybody knows about the Crystal Awards is because of Brie Larson's stupidity. Well, she has a nice looking area for an alien UFO in her forehead. Okay. Number 5 on Bird of Prey's list. Bree's trailers often have to be sold for scrap after movies due to all the blood stains by the time the movie is done shooting. That's an interesting one. I did not know that one. And Captain Redneck is in the house, and let's see what he has to say here, Captain. Hold on just a moment. Where's the, waiting for that. Come on. There we go.
Ooh, Captain Redneck is on the bridge.
Anyway, good to see you, Captain. And by the way, Captain, so you should really, if you didn't see it already, there you go. There's a nice picture of Brie for you. So just picture Captain Redneck right there. That's all you got to do. And Trigger, let's make movies where only lefties are good, smart, and powerful. The righties would be stupid and evil. That's a good idea. Her favorite flavor of ice cream is Smurfberry. Wow, I did not know that. Brie Larson is the real-life Philip J. Fry. Anti-Trekker 2019. Yep, I said it. Well, I didn't say she's Philip J. Fry. She is... Her intelligence quotient is right up there with Philip J. Fry. I imagine Anti-Trekker just showed Captain Redneck a picture of Laura. Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't bring up the picture, did I? Okay, so Captain Redneck, let me show it to you. There you go. Oops, that's wrong button. What? I hit the wrong button, didn't I? All right. Video that, yeah, let me go to main screen. There we go. There you go, Captain Redneck. So this is the thumbnail for my upcoming video that's going to be complete clickbait. So, oh no, Ray's Dark Side, Mirror of Infinity. Yes. Ooh, that's what we need. We need to put Ray and Michael Burnham in there somehow. So at least Brie, and that's the thing. I mean, if we really want to think about it, at least Brie has the good sense to pull her hair back, because she doesn't depend on a man to pull her hair back for her. Jeez. All right, I need to stop. Need to reposition her to look like she's laying. Oh, man. That's just so sick and wrong, but true. So there we go. This is going to be the first time for me. I'm going to make a video strictly based on the thumbnail that we created together. So we'll see what I can come up with. In the meantime, I do need to wrap it up because I got a lot of work to do. There will be a subscriber-only stream later on today, and I hope that you guys have an awesome day, night, morning, evening, whatever the hell it is for you. Bree went to set to visit Bill Cosby the day after his initial accusations came. Oh, Bird, that is wrong. You guys are a bunch of sick men.
I have got something better.
And Laughable Larry won't let me get a little bit of rest here. Folks, $1.99 in the chat. Thank you so much. You've been really quiet, but you've been throwing this money in. So I'm wondering if you've been saving up for a mega chat or something. So Laughable, I'm not going. You need to tell me what you want. Captain Redneck wants to lick Bree's face. You can have her. Not my type. You can have her. DJ Odyssey says, number one, Brie Larson is Bird of Prey future wife because she can buy a Jeep. Yes, that's probably true. So, don't ask, don't tell. Okay. Brie Larson is a dedicated follower of Lore Reloaded and often has him send her personally recorded songs she listens to before performing. Wow, Bird of Prey, that's low even for you. So, Larry, come on, you got to tell me. Don't leave me hanging here, buddy. Tell me if you want one of this. You know, since you've given a few times through the stream, so you can pick anything you want there. Any super chat, uber chat, mega chat, or even the dreaded Bird of Prey chat. Laughable Larry, Thanos finger. I don't have the Thanos finger one anymore. Well, let me see if I can dig it up for you. Well, hold on, since if you want oh wait, no, that's Chief Cook giving that, talking about stuff. Let's see. And let's see. Bird of Prey. Yeah, there's a new special level of reward called the Bird of Prey chat, Captain Redneck. That's something new. Bird of Prey. Only Bird of Prey is allowed to be in the Bird of Prey chats. Although that one's going to get an alternate version in the not too distant future. And let's see. Where is... Wrong thing. Go to the anti-cast. Did you find the evil Joker? I'm not sure what happened to the evil Joker. Let's see. Almost there. Let's go to Super Chat. I think it's under retired. Few infinity. Oh, yes. Okay, hold on. So, Laughable Larry, I think I found what you're after here. Let me, if I can get the stupid thing to move. And is it this one? There you go, Laughable Larry. I managed to find that in the archives there. And Bird of Prey throws in the $11 for the Bird of Prey chat. All right, Captain Redneck, you are in for a treat. Especially because Captain Redneck, I know you're a fan of the Next Generation. And so this is something you should know, is that there's actually a missing episode, a lost episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that I found the footage for, and I now proudly present the lost episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Oops, helps if I hit the right button, doesn't it? There it is.
Captain's log, Stardate.
Feel the fire, feel my love inside you so bright. There's the sound and the smell of love on my mind. I'm your toy, come play with me. Say the word now.
Ah, shoot.
Round me.
Captain's log, Stardate 44307.3. I'm preparing to leave my shuttlecraft for Pentaris 5, where I've been asked to mediate a dispute among the Salanite miners. A contentious group, unfortunately prone to violence. But first, I must deal with a situation of a far more personal nature.
What better way to get first-hand experience?
Captain, I'm picking up a general distress signal from Bird of Prey 5.
On screen.
Feel the fire, feel my love inside you so bright. There's the sound and the smell of love on my mind. I'm your toy, come play with me. Say the word now, wrap your legs around me. Ride me tonight.
My love is a fever, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease.
I'm a man, I'm a goddess, I'm a man, I'm a virgin, I'm a man, I'm a blue movie, I'm a man, I'm a bitch, I'm a man, I'm a geyser, I'm a man, I'm a little girl, and we'll make love together. This sounds very pedo-ish.
In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors see, but 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who, in despite of view, art pleased to dote. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
What? Oh my God.
When I have plucked the rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It needs, must wither.
Why are you saying these things? Music to make love to an old ladybug.
You wonderfully jealous fool, you.
Wow, well that's basically rape. That is rape as a song. Congratulations. I gotta go turn myself in.
And there it is, Bird of Prey in the lost episode of Star Trek. And yes, I was actually, see, I got a Keurig machine right here. And so I was actually, I have my water, I was pouring that in here. And then I turned back around and there was no sound, no sound. Sorry about that. So, anyway, so now Jan Michael Vincent has passed. I'm going to get that Airwolf super chat. I am working on that. Trust me. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Although I also know that Joshua and Mrs. Antrick are conspiring against me with something. I don't know what they're going to do. And I like the idea, by the way, of incorporating what we learned about Goose into Punchy the Wonder Cat. So I think that's a good idea. You shouldn't pee into the coffee maker. That would probably explain why Colombian roast just doesn't taste quite right. All right, so anyway, that's going to be it, I think. So, guys, have a great whatever the hell it is. Blah, blah, blah. You know, 40-year-old white men suck, apparently.
Sing it! Sing it! Sing it!
My, this here Anakin guy.
Sing it!
Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry.
Sing it!
He left his home and kissed his mama goodbye.
Sing it!
Saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi.
Sing it! Sing it! Sing it! Sing it!
See how good the boy could be. So we took him there and we told the tale how his Morty chlorons were off the scale and he might fulfill the prophecy.
Sing it!
Morty chlorons, Morty chlorons, Morty.
Sing it!
Chlorons, Morty.
Sing it! 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 Sing it!
Josh thankfully saves us from Lore Reloaded. Thank you, Josh. So, you were literally just about 5 seconds away from the end of that, but yeah. Brie Larson talks really fast. Well, Brie Larson is, yeah, she's Brie Larson. Yes, you get an email if you're on your Patreon, if you're a paid subscriber on the website. Yes. So when I do the Monday supporter only streams, an email alert goes out. If you're registered on Anti-Tracker, if you're a subscriber, I should say, at antitracker.com, then the email will go out with the link. And if you are a patron supporter, there'll be a post put to Patreon with the link as well. The actual link will be changing in the very near future because of the simple fact that we are going to be moving towards, and I'm very excited about this, a different format for the supporter live streams, which will allow me to actually show full episodes of shows and stuff like that. So I'm very, very much looking forward to that and stuff like that. Well, that's weird. So now all of a sudden we got a weird echo going on, so that should be fun. There we go. I think we got to take care. So the so that's coming soon. And it's only because of those of you that have supported the channel that I'm going to be able to do this, is that we're going to be setting up a special live stream account just for supporters that will not be affected by showing copyrighted information. And so that we're going to be able to watch movies, watch TV shows. I'm going to make that a regular thing. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Mr. Miles says, I've been saying this for a few streams, but I've heard vocal frying can cause damage to vocal cords, sometimes requiring surgery to correct. Breeze brought a smile to my face. Yeah, you know, vocal fry, yeah, it can be bad for your vocal cords. And for those of you that don't know, that's when you talk like this. And Brie does that a lot in the Captain Marvel movie. And I find it utterly annoying when people do that. But if that's, you know, she destroys her vocal cords, well, then the rest of us are blessed. Anyway, but I'm still waiting. Josh, you want more Mrs. Anti-Tracker? Well, I can't bring Mrs. Anti-Tracker's not here right now, so I can't, like, bring her on for your super chat. But what do you want for a super chat? Besides more, or do you want to have the How I Met Mrs. Anti-Tracker? I can do that one. So is that what you mean, or did you want? What do you want? Now I get to wait. Oh, by the way, Mr. Miles, can you? Because I haven't checked the new Mrs. Anti-Tracker. Okay. Oh, the one that Mrs. Anti-Tracker. Yes. Okay, give me just a second. I'll bring that up. Now I know what you're talking about. It just took me a minute. And why is it not saving? I have to figure that out. All right, let me... Oh, gosh, which number is that one? Oh, yes, number 9. Here we go.
Blah, 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 S2D is bad, blah, 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 Ray is too perfect to even exist, blah, 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 blah.
There it is. And by the way, here's the funny thing, because, and then I'm going to sign off because, yeah, it's late. But, you know, people have been accusing me lately, and I'll be honest with you, I've lost a few subscribers over this, which I think is kind of funny. Don't worry, I'm not, you know, going to freak out because I didn't lose that many subscribers, but I did lose a few subscribers because of the fact that I like Captain Marvel the movie. And a lot of people have been accusing me of being a shill. I've been getting messages saying how I've sold out. I've been getting messages about how I'm an SJW and all this crap. Now, that being said, how many did I lose? I think total I lost was probably about 20 or so subscribers over it, which, you know, not a huge number, but, you know, enough to notice. So here's the thing, though, is that the when my son and my wife decided to try to do, here's what we think of when we think of your live stream, and they get this.
Blah, 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 S2D is bad, blah, 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 Ray is too perfect to even exist, blah, 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 blah.
So that's what they think of when they think of my live streaming. And so, and yet, I'm this crazy left-wing, whatever. Enter, you were about to ask me something that seemed to lose. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I answered it myself, Mr. Miles. So I'm still trying to figure out some of the stuff with the YouTube settings. I don't know why it keeps going back to the wrong setting. I'm trying to get it to stick, but yeah. Does Discord have a video chat option? Let's talk face-to-face on my birthday. It does. I don't know how well it works. When is your birthday again, Daniel? I know it's coming up, but I couldn't remember. Jaegerbomb throws $5 in and says, unlike SJWs, we forgive. It's okay to have different viewpoints. I still fear for Endgame and the future of the MCU, but all down the line. And Super Chat 6. Yes, I'll get Super Chat 6 in just a second. I do want to hear back from I'm losing my mind. From Daniel about when his birthday is. March 22nd. And so March 22nd is a Friday. So if we can pull it off, sure. And wow, I just really messed up. Hold on. What is going on here? Now hold on, my computer's being weird. Okay. And let's see, Miss Andrew and Joshua think you're in a Dalton Charlie Brown comics. Yeah. Peter says, my 41st is April 3rd. Man, I'm just, you know, with 7,000 subscribers, I'm going to have like 8 birthdays every day. But, but we'll try, Daniel. If we can do it, we'll have you on for a few minutes through the Discord. Discord does have a video chat option, so we'll see if we can make that work. But in the meantime, Uber chat number 6 is what my good friend Jaeger wants to see as he works on forgiving me for liking Captain Marvel.
I now pronounce you man and turd. You may now kiss.
Joshua, what are you doing?
Nothing, nothing. I'm definitely not making you kiss Law. I repeat, I am not making you kiss Law. I'm definitely not.
Hello, unfortunately there's not going to be a part 4. Dad just fixed the computer and he promises not to destroy it again as long as I don't do another one of those, so there's going to be no part 4. Wait, hold on, I just got a text message. Please do these videos, part 4 is very anticipated. Nope, I quit.
Get him.
Sing it. Sing it. Sing it.
All right, so then Mr. Miles pulled a clip from something here. I don't know what exactly it is, but it looks like it's a 20-second clip from one of my live streams here. So he wants that as his super chat reward. So let me bring it up here. And there we go. I'm almost afraid.
All hail Mrs. Hypnoturd. Everyone loves Mrs. Hypnoturd. You all want to be like me. You all want me every day, every night. Mrs. Hypnoturd.
There it is. Mrs. Hypnoturd. Thank you so much. Mr. Miles. Oh, man. All right, guys. So with that, we are going to wrap it up. Have a great whatever the hell it is, and take care of yourselves. There's only about 5 seconds left of Laura's wonderful singing voice first. Oh, but Josh is saying, nope, 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 nope. And Thomas is like, stop and no, you guys are being preemptive there because you know there's only a couple of seconds left, you jerks. So Chief says, hit the damn button. Yes, if you haven't hit like, what are you doing, man? Come on. Let's be cool. So Bird of Prey's getting mad. You want to be careful. Don't make don't make Bird of Prey mad at you because you will disappear if Bird of Prey gets mad at you. What time is the supporter stream? I don't know exactly. It's going to depend on when I got to get my work done. What I'll probably end up doing, because I know Bird said he's going to probably stream about 4 to 5 or so. And so I will try, if I can, to time it so that when Bird of Prey is streaming, I will send Bird of Prey the information on the supporter stream so that he can make sure everybody knows. So keep an eye out for Bird of Prey. If you're a subscriber and you want to join the subscriber-only stream, I will fill him in on everything when we get there. All right, guys. So so with that now, Thomas, did you want something? Oh, Thomas Potts wants number 1. Let's bring that up.
I'm a better female character than you.
You would be if you didn't spend all your time with that temper tantrum mean guy.
At least I'm not the one on a show with a questionable acronym.
Take it back.
No.
Yes.
Oops. Sorry to bother you.
And by pure coincidence, Mrs. Anti-Tracker just walked in the room. She's over there looking all good. I'll tell you, you should see her, man. So let me see if she wants to say hi to you guys. I don't know if she will or not, but we'll find out here in a second. Let me see. We'll put up. All right, so you get to look at the televisions here while I try to get the mic over to her. Hold on.
Hi, guys.
And everybody is saying, hey, Mrs. Anti-Tracker. Hi, Mrs. Anti-Tracker. So Peter says hi. Oh, and by the way, they played, you remember when you did the Hypnoturd thing? You said all hail the Hypnoturd? Or all hail Mrs. Hypnoturd. So Mr. Miles actually clipped the video for that and has saved it on his channel so everybody can see your Hypnoturd. Yeah. All right, guys. So Mrs. Anti-Tracker is like, all right, are you almost finished? Yes. And Josh picks number 9 since Mrs. Anti-Tracker is here. So let's put it up there, and then we're going to sign off with that, guys.
Blah, blah, blah. S2D is bad. Blah, blah, blah. Ray is too perfect to even exist. Blah, 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 blah.